Master William, how does it continue now that Romeo had to flee from Verona after all?
He had to flee from Verona, but he has not left Juliet behind.
Does that mean she went with him?
No, she had to remain in Verona.
Then how can she be with him?
In his manly breast there beats a heart that would never forget her.
A heart that would suffer eternally were they never to see each other again.
Though a heart that bears love in it can bleed, wither away it shall not.
The ring you've pressed so dearly to your chest, is that a symbol of such a love?
The one who gave it to me is the one I love. She made a gift of the ring out of love, yet the ring itself does not hold that love. Love does not abide in things.
What is it doing in Romeo's heart, pray tell?
Neither place, nor time, nor rules can bind love eternally. As long as this love abides, Romeo shall be there where Juliet is, and she with him.
And where is Romeo just now?
Not there where his heart yearns to take him. Where were we? Okay, Romeo fled to Mantua, waiting there as the minutes passed for news from Verona. There in town, Juliet awaits her fate, to see Romeo once more, or live on without him. Knowing nothing of this, her father makes his choice. His daughter's hand shall go to Count Paris. If it were up to the Count, she'd be his wife in a trace. He wants the wedding held the very next day. When the nurse hears this, she worriedly hastens to Juliet, who laments to forces far beyond us. I don't need the Count as husband, for I neither want to love him, nor can I ever love him. Despite this, the faithful nurse advises her to marry, for when Romeo's spell shall end, no one knows. Intended as Count Paris's wife as of the morrow, Juliet is set on fleeing from this second marriage. Desperate, she seeks out Friar Lawrence and begs him to help her. His counsel, a sleeping potion, a fluid with which she can feign her death. Seeing the potion as her only means of escape, Juliet attempts to brew it herself. The vial in her hand, Juliet seeks to find the courage. With one draught of the potion, she wants to place herself in an icy, death-like coma that very night, that she be brought, cold and pale as a corpse, to her ancestor's tomb, where Romeo is to rescue her. Yet Friar Lawrence begins to doubt his own plan. He asks one last time if Juliet is truly determined. She, in turn, leaves no doubt, declaring to him valiantly to be ready for anything, come what may. No sooner is she lain in the Capulet vault, he shall send a fellow friar to Mantua to fetch Romeo. Thus intended, news of Juliet's death shall reach him only so, and with it, life anew. He is to meet her in the vault, and flee with her into the night. Juliet, freed from all cares and woe, goes home. Having arrived, she confidently agrees to the unwanted marriage, though she's well aware that the new day shall bring sorrow, not joy. She clasps the old nurse in her arms and bids her a good night, thinking all the while, farewell. Then she drops to her pillow, her worries her only companion, the potion concealed in one hand. Juliet finds not the slightest rest in bed. Doubts come a-creeping into her thoughts. Has the potion been brewed properly? And will Romeo receive the news at the right time? Suddenly she awakes in the dark, as if already placed in the vault from which she is set on escaping. From the tomb in her dream, Juliet was able to flee. Spying her Romeo in the exit's glow, she takes heart once more. As she loves him, she erases all doubt from her mind. She takes the potion, sets it to her lips, takes a draught, and shuts her eyes again. Come morning, the nurse enters the chambers to dress Juliet for the wedding. She discovers the beloved child in her very own bed, as if dead, the face a mask of deathly paleness, no sign of breath on her lips. Mourning casts its cloak over the house of the Capulets, though Juliet, who once shed so many a tear, now lies still on a funeral bier, and on that bier she is carried to the family tomb. Fraught with care at his planned success, Lawrence escorts the funeral. Lying in state, entombed by darkness, Juliet now awaits her Romeo. Upon which the friar sends his courier to Mantua together with a fervent prayer to heaven.
What makes you pause, Master William?
It's to fan the flames of suspense, Miss Anne, and because I do need a sip of water.
I'll fetch you a cup from the kitchen downstairs.
No, Miss Anne, that's not
the proper English way when a lady is at the gentleman's service, and one of rank for a mere commoner to boot.
I didn't want.
Whether you want to or not, William, your influence here in this house is more than meager. For that very reason, you shall speak with my brother on my behalf.
And what shall I say to him, my lord?
That he ought to think of his future rather than fritter it away. And do let him know that his future is edging closer.
What sort of future are you speaking of? And what does it imply for your brother?
Whatever I'm speaking of holds no significance. In contrast, my brother's role does.
But how am I to convince your brother if I don't know what you're talking about?
You're not supposed to convince him at all. Merely leave him in peace with your arrant nonsense.